Let me say this about Lovie Smith in Houston, Texas. You guys signed him because it was an easy out. Obviously, Lovie Smith's tenure in the NFL is not a great tenure. He's an assistant head coach at best. He is not a head. He has been a head coach. Lovie Smith is not a good better decision over Brian Flores. No, he's not.
No, but they were going to pick him anyway.
Okay, then you gonna give it to Josh McDowell, who never coached head coach.
They were going for Josh McDowell. They were really going for Josh McDowell.
So, but you Lovie Smith is better than Josh McDowell. Give me that. That's fine. But like that proves Brian Flores is right that you guys are discriminating against more qualified coaches because of their skin color versus what you want.
But that doesn't say that. What it is?
That does say that.
Okay, so look, this is what me and Josh were talking about last time.
Yeah.
If you have an organization, you're a billionaire, right? You want to run things your way. You made your way to this top and to this level. So guess what? You want people of like mind around you. Period. That's all it is. That people with money want people of like mind around them. So guess what?
Because it's their way.
It's right. Because I own the team. I own the building. I own the organization. I own this.
Okay.
So I don't need anybody to sit here and disagree with me. If you're disagreeing with me, guess what? You're not on my program.
Look at it this way. Look at it this way. Cal McNair shoves every decision to everybody else but him. So that statement about I want like-minded people around me, it doesn't make sense coming from him.
John, that's a generality, not a specific.
It's not a generality. That's a fact. You know that man don't do nothing but sit there and let everybody make decisions.
He'll hire
Look, if we're going to actually have this successfully, you have to actually listen to what the person's saying, because what he is making a point of is a generality as a basis of, it's not necessarily going to be specific to an owner, but the generality that the statement that he made is accurate. And that's what you have to understand. So going off of that pretext. Now, I'm not saying that McNair doesn't hire people and let them run it. That may be. But at the end of the day, a lot of these owners want, it's like their own little toy chest. They want it their way. They want to make the Legos. It says to do this, but they want to do that. I mean, you're going to run into that. Because they have the money, they're funding everything, and it's nothing but a big game to them. So what we came to the conclusion is, although we're not denying that there may be a racial element to it, we don't necessarily think that it's outrightly racist.
Right, because the whole point is this. Perfect example, Miami. Okay, there was no reason for you to pass over Justin Herbert, who was proven better than Tua.
Oh yeah,
and you got Tua anyway. The only connection between Tua and the owner is the alumni in Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. Because he supports the alumni in Oklahoma.
But Tua didn't play for Oklahoma.
I mean, Alabama. Alabama. Yeah, Alabama. Oh, Ross is connected to Alabama. He's an alumni of Alabama.
But that's fine. But you're looking at. It doesn't matter.
Why would I pick
that's a draft pick. We talking about head coaches.
But we're not
talking about a draft pick that haven't played in the NFL. We're talking about a coach that's been in the NFL for a minute and done.
Remember what we discussed about emotional
that has done good things
and logic. John's coming from emotion. You're coming from logic. It ain't gonna work, but it's good for
John. That's what I'm saying. Think about it this way.
The problem with logic and emotion, they don't listen to each other. And they often hear each other. They often hear each other, but they never agree with each other.
Emotion goes off of exactly that.
I'm not talking about the emotion side. I'm talking about the logic side of
what I'm saying, John, is that this is obviously an emotional topic for you.
It's an emotional topic.
Which is why you're not listening to Chuck when he's trying to give you points.
Oh, Lord have mercy. This point's going to go on forever, bro.
No. I'm just, look. I got one more point.
Hey, welcome back to the show, John.
So, okay, prime example. I'm going to stick with Miami. What was the purpose of hiring Adam Gase, right? Adam Gase, the former head coach before Brian Flores, right?
Oh, yeah.
When you had more qualified coaches available, white or black.
It's just that point where you say, well, he fit what I think our team should be as an owner. This is why
the owner picked at the owner or whoever.
The owner picks the general manager. The owner picks the coach.
Right. That's what I'm. Okay.
And then the general manager.
We're going to my point. So the point is that as a head coach, this situation doesn't affect players because the owners typically don't go down to the player level. They always stick with the head coaches and above. I want to know who I entrust with the organization. My organization is of like mind with me. Period. That's why Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones, that should have worked. You know why? Because you had a winning head coach and you had a owner that's willing to pay out money. Why that didn't work? Because the owner and the coach were not on the same page.
The same thing with Barry
Head coach was gone. Period. And he was a two-time Super Bowl winning head coach.
And I'm gonna go back to, but I'm gonna piggyback off what you said. When these owners pick these coaches, you're not picking them for who can get me to the Super Bowl. You're not picking for who can get my team wins. You're picking because I just want somebody to think like me to sit here and coach these guys. That's dumb.
We agree.
We agree.
We agree.
I agree.
That's the dumbest way to pick a head coach.
And so now you understand where we're coming from when we completely agree.
That was an emotional response, not a logical response.
But see, now you understand the logic where we're trying not to feed off of the racial tensions because we understand the other side of it. Once again, not saying it may not be racially motivated, at least on some level in some cases.
Right.
Well, we're saying that the generality lacks evidence that it's racially motivated.
I'm not gonna say it's a general racial thing that we're not gonna hire these black head coaches. What I'm saying is,
I actually like the Lovie Smith hire.
I don't.
You don't.
Like I said,
as a Texan fan, I would like to hear because we already talked about why we
I'm
like
the only Texan fan here.
Oh shit! I
know.
That pipeline, y'all remember that pipeline?
You're the Patriot. You're a Patriot South fan.
Patriot South fan.
I'm sorry.
Not a Texan.
I'm not a
fan.
Texan fan. I'm a Patriot
From the
South fan.
Texan fan or once removed Texan fan, John.
I'm not sitting here saying I'm not a Texan fan because y'all know I still root for them.
Yeah.
But the decisions made by this organization from the last 4 years. 4 years, I'm gonna go 4 years,
10,
3 years, of the whole thing, whatever you want to call it, have been mistake after mistake. And since I'm be honest with you, since Rick Smith left, this team went on a downward spiral.
I agree.
Now they had a couple years where they were up there, but you were still on a downward spiral. Your draft picks were sucked. Your head coaches sucked.
Well,
I mean, everything that the general managers after him have done.
Well, which is why they went and got Nick Caserio.
And that's
right?
in 2 years ain't nothing changed. It's the same team in 2 years.
This is Nick's first year.
Okay, well.
So this is his first year, and what does he do?
He hires Lovie Smith as a head coach. Why?
I actually like the
I want to know why.
Because he knows how to take a team to a Super Bowl.
No, he does not know how. He's not taking it to the Super Bowl, but he did it once, Chuck. How many years the man been coaching? He did it once.
And the team was in a position to play.
And he had players. He had better players than what he got now. What you think?
We agree.
What you think he gonna do with this team? Nothing. He is not. With this team. They ain't going nowhere.
Last time I checked, y'all were
obviously we disagree on that one. But hey, we
went to the games.
We went to the games. That was his defense and somebody else's offense.
Okay, and so what?
He is not an offensive coordinator.
That's where you go hire one.
And they promoted somebody, pepped somebody above Kelly. I'm like, what the hell? That don't make no sense.
Because Kelly wasn't getting it done.
And you think this guy, he was under him. You think he gonna get it done?
I don't know. We'll see.
It's just like I'm saying. What I'm saying is these coaching moves that the Texans are making. This is not really a stab at Lovie Smith. Don't get me wrong. This is more of a stab at the Houston Texans making another bad freaking decision.
I would have got Jim Harbaugh.
You had better coaches. You had better offensive coordinator coaches you could have brought in here. You had better head coaches you could have brought in here. They hired people that's on this team already, and you sucked. Why are you gonna promote sucky people?
Let's bring it down a level.
That's all I'm saying.
I understand your frustration with the Texan organization, and even I went on the record 2 episodes. I don't know how many episodes ago.
Every
episode. Doesn't really
matter.
I went on the record and said as long as Nick Caserio is there, it's not going to be a winning organization. One, because 2 things need to happen. They need to get Deshaun back on the field. It's not going to happen. And they need to get their draft picks back, which won't happen for another couple of years. So in order for them to even start rebuilding, right? Not to say that they don't have a solid core, but by the time they actually start getting draft picks, that core is going to be gone, or not necessarily aged out, but they're gonna no. If they do good, they're gonna have to be traded because of salary cap.
Yep.
So right now, Nick Caserio and Lovie Smith are in a bad situation. Watch, I guarantee you, one of them or both of them are going to be gone in 2 years.
But I have to say this here. I want to ask this question. Y'all answer this.
But I still like
the coach that somebody want to play for. Do you think you can get better players here?
Yes.
And the OC position is still available. And if they make a play at Bieniemy to appease Deshaun Watson, that would be one way to kind of salvage it because at least you have Deshaun to build him. But on a note, Deshaun, if you watch, I know it's like not liking it, but seriously, look, Brady just left. Go to Tampa Bay,
please. And Mike Evans would love to see you there.
Tampa Bay's not.
Or my favorite. We talked about this last week. Steelers. Big Ben's gone. I don't like the
And he already said
Rudolph, Mason Rudolph.
He already
I don't
said
like
he don't want to go to the Eagles, so.
Yeah,
I thought he said the Eagles.
No, he changed his mind. He does not want to go to the Eagles.
And now that Brian Flores is gone, he doesn't want to go to freaking Miami.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, hey, Deshaun, look around. Mike Tomlin's still there. Go play for him.
You heard like I said in the last episode.
J.J. Watt just made Defensive Player of the Year. That defense is still solid. That is where you want to go.
He means T.J. Watt.
Sorry, you're right.
T.J.
Watt.
J.J. ain't doing nothing.
J.J.
ain't
Same
doing
thing.
J.J. and
The
T.J.
Watt.
go
I'm
sit
gonna get
down.
your jersey though.
I already got it.
Hey, on the record, Deshaun, if you go to the Steelers, I will become a Steeler fan, and I will buy your jersey.
I will buy your jersey too. Even though I don't like the black and gold.
I know somebody that will buy your jersey if you're a Steeler. I can't do the Steelers. I can't do the black and yellow. Sorry, I'm not gonna be able to do it. Shelby Jones,
my only
Sean Watson jersey.
My only exception, I am not buying that stupid Bumblebee out there. Not doing that.
You don't have to wear that 1 week.
Oh no! That is the ugliest thing
Anyway,
I've
let's
ever
get
seen.
off this one, y'all. Let's talk about something different. We're gonna talk about the Super Bowl that's coming up.
Bengals, all the way.
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl champs, Bengals.
Now,
I'm torn.
At the beginning
I'm
of the
torn.
season, I did say it, either the Cardinals or the Rams were gonna go to the Super Bowl.
did
So
say
I got
that.
one
Yeah,
right.
you got one.
I did not see
Well,
the
I mean-
Bengals. I did not see the
No,
Bengals
I-
showing up in the
I
Super
definitely
Bowl.
didn't see San Francisco playing in the championship.
And yes, those the surprises. Those are the
San
surprises.
Francisco would have been in the championship if he did not.
No, they were in the championship.
Yeah, you saying
San Francisco.
San
I'm sorry.
Francisco in the Super Bowl.
San Francisco would have been in the Super Bowl if he didn't make that stupid turnover at the
Okay,
last.
well, I mean, it's football any given Sunday.
No, he's doing too much.
But like I said, he's not doing nothing this
They
week.
were running
He's not doing nothing this week.
That's his
He's not
MO.
doing nothing this week.
No, he's a choke artist.
We're not doing nothing this week. Burrows
Not necessarily
and
a
the
choke
Cincinnati
artist, but he
Bengals
likes
are
to do too
playing.
much.
But
When you put
Burrows
that
and
kind of
Cincinnati
pressure on your
Bengals-
back, you're gonna crumble.
Real talk, Burrows and Cincinnati Bengals have done something I ain't seen in a minute. Underdog team in the playoffs win it all. All they got to do is win the Super Bowl, and they got it all.
And let's not forget, every Detroit fan is now living vicariously through Stafford. Because Stafford. Well, I mean, there's been a lot of people.
Stafford abandoned y'all.
No, there's been a lot of people that
Yes, he did.
have said that if Stafford was in another organization, that he would do better. There's a lot of people who have said that.
I did.
One of them sitting here.
But
One of them sitting in between us.
Let me finish my rant, and then you can check.
okay, sorry.
Come on. We have to be at least semi-fair.
We'll behave.
All right. And I've noticed a lot of good things out of Stafford, especially early on. His toughness, his mental toughness. He doesn't give up. There was a couple of times that he's made the playoffs. Unfortunately, they lose in the first round. Sadly, he's won more playoff games this round than he has ever won, and he's made the playoffs 3 times.
He's won more than Dallas.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Ouch.
Did I throw that in there? Oh
He
man.
ain't won more than Dallas.
Yes, he has.
Well,
If you go through the
someone
history of
likes to
Dallas,
needle
yeah,
Dallas.
We
But
talked
anyway,
about it in the past couple of years.
so I think that I like the trade when they did the Stafford Goff trade. Some people didn't understand it. I understood it. Stafford has a better arm and he's got a better view of downfield. Especially I think even given his experience. And Goff may get there. Don't know.
Now
May
in
get
Detroit,
there,
he won't.
but not in Detroit. Well, maybe even in Detroit, he worked for Stafford. But ironically enough, I think a lot of Detroit fans that like Stafford, that like what he did for the organization, are going to root for him during the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they all are. They all are.
I don't know.
And it's the only way Detroit's going to get a win in the Super Bowl by living vicariously through
Do
Stafford.
another player. Go ahead, Chuck. You itching. I know you itching.
Yes, I am.
Go for it.
Bengals.
I don't know why. I love Detroit. He abandoned you. You put up with him for all these years.
Screen games and
Y'all, people
again.
forget that Stafford turns over the ball.
Yeah, he's like, what was it? He led interception with 17 this year.
has not done
Yes, he did. Oh,
You might
sorry.
want to pull up them
No,
stats.
you might want to pull up the stats,
Pull-
sir.
pull up the
I'm
stats.
not Google me. I'm
And
not
they
Google
just showed that he led
Yeah.
the league this year with 17.
Yes, sir. He turned over the ball on the
17
Rams
interceptions.
with all those receivers
Yep.
and the running back and the line. He turned over the ball, so it wasn't a fluke in the Detroit. It's not. That's him.
How many touchdowns he threw?
Quite a bit. But that's another story.
But that's another story.
But and honestly,
Touchdown
John, you're
to
right.
turnover
John,
ratio is a difference.
John,
It makes a difference.
that is
Not
a
if you
valid
beat the league.
point. That is a valid point because when you're winning, just like in poker, when you're winning, you can afford to take those shots.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
And they were winning.
And they were winning, so they can afford to take those shots. The problem is that if he takes that shot when they're behind, or when he takes that shot when their score is even. That could be a determining factor when you're at this level.
I want to touch on something as soon as Chuck finishes.
So yeah, with the turnovers, this is why I know the Bengals are going to win. The turnovers, because Joe Burrows has what record of turning over the ball? A low one. Okay, cool. So if he's not turning over the ball, but the one y'all saying, the Rams quarterback is.
You forgot his name already?
Oh yeah, I did. Stafford's turning over the ball, but Burrow is not. I don't understand how.
We're gonna write it down for you.
I don't understand how you're gonna sit there and say, because Joe Burrow was sacked 9 times in one game and beat that team.
Yep, that was in the playoffs.
But even though he was sacked, he wasn't turning over the ball.
Okay, well, with that being said, you put the Bengals front four versus the Rams front four. Who wins that matchup?
The Rams have a better team.
Yes, I think the Rams have a better team.
I'm saying I'm going matchup for matchup. Running back, I give it to the Bengals over the Rams. Running back wise, quarterback. At this point, I'm gonna say even. I'm gonna say even.
I give the edge to Stafford.
I wanted to do that, but Burrow's been playing lights out in the playoffs. So I say
Burrow. Don't get me wrong. I like what I see out of Burrow, but he's still a rookie.
Wide receivers.
He is.
Wide receivers. Bengals or Rams.
Rams, obviously.
Okay, defensive backs. Bengals or Rams.
Rams.
So on paper, you should be picking the Rams, Chuck.
Exactly.
You should be, but guess what? Look, Jalen Ramsey, when you get into his head, he breaks down. And that's the top,
I can't see Chase getting in Jalen Ramsey's head.
I didn't say Chase.
That's the one he's going to be on.
I didn't say Chase Young.
That's the one he's going to be on.
But Ramsey conflicts with different players.
He's only going to be on Chase. I guarantee you he's going to be on one person.
You're talking about coverage. I'm talking about when.
I'm talking about coverage.
I'm not talking about coverage. I'm talking about when Jalen Ramsey.
Time out. You just said you were talking about coverage.
No. What I'm saying is Jalen Ramsey has a personality. When let's say I'm the running back and I get in his face.
Know him personally?
No, I'm just talking about his time.
I'm trying to figure out where you got that information
from. What I'm saying is his time in Jacksonville and his time in the Rams. He has a personality. If you conflict with him, you can get him out of his game. Remember, I don't know if y'all remember the Ravens game where what's his name, Humphreys. He's a quarterback. He's not even on the field with Ramsey. Got said a couple words to him. Got Ramsey out of his game.
Okay, and I'm gonna say this again.
And
Ramsey's gonna be chasing
look,
around.
You got 2 weeks to get focused, okay? And when it comes down to it, it's gonna come down. It's gonna come down to execution. It's gonna come down to execution. Now, if you want to go on one angle that we haven't discussed, who has suffered some some setbacks on the field and still managed to recover?
That would be the Bengals. That would be the Bengals.
Okay. And so on that note, yes, I'll give them a slight edge in that regard. But when you do take a look at them on paper, they have a lot to overcome. The defense is better on the Rams side.
And they got to keep up with Cooper.
And they're going to have to it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be competitive. I think it's going to be decided by 3 points, which is why I'll take the 4 points anytime, anywhere, even 3.5.
I'm thinking 35-24.
But I'd even consider putting money on the money line with the Bengals at plus 175.
I got 20.
I'm going with what we talked about.
We can make a bet right now.
It's going to be 34-31.
The app that I was using is a little finicky, and I'm done with that.
Okay, well, I'm thinking 35-24.
If I ever find a valid bookie, I'll let you know.
Ain't no such thing as a valid bookie.
I'm going with
not here in Texas.
I'm going with our prediction. I'm going with 34-31 Bengals.
Oh, he's going to go with the Simpsons prediction. I'm sorry,
I forgot about that one.
If you're not on Facebook, it's been going all through everybody's stuff. Simpsons have basically predicted that, yes, the Rams and the Bengals are going to be facing off in the Super Bowl, and Bengals win it 34-31.
Yep.
So yes,
we might have to start watching The Simpsons more often.
No, and then the funny thing, these are the 80s.
Hey, you know what? Even Joe Rogan made a comment about how the prediction,
is dead on accurate
because it's scary. Yeah.
It's the 80s episodes and the early 90s episodes. Because even with the President Trump,
and let's not forget Family Guy, and some of the other stuff too. They've had not as long running as The Simpsons,
and that's scary.
It is scary.
That is scary.
Well, and a lot of it is just easily predictive social program. We're already programmed socially on a level because of TV and media, so it's not hard to extrapolate what may or may not happen based on the prediction.
Yeah, but a sports game.
That's true.
If they get this one right, then I'm gonna believe everything.
They got a presidential election right. If they got a presidential election right, I trust.
You know what? I don't trust that one, but I will trust this football.
It happened. What are you talking?
I don't trust that one. I ain't say it's not true. I said I didn't trust it. Now,
whatever.
if they get this one right, I'm believing everything they say.
Well, shit, if they get this one right, like 10 years ago, then I ain't placing a single sport bet ever again.
What's his name? Matt Gordon? I'm going to send him my taxes. Make it work. Just make it work.
Just figure it out.
Make it work, man.
Anyway.
We got our predictions. We got 2 Rams, 1 Bengals.
I do like the Rams. And
Josh didn't give us a score yet, though.
Well, so for me, I'm not even going to go with the score. But, and of course, for me, this is bittersweet. Both franchises deserve a win.
Yeah.
If you take a look at Cincinnati a few years ago, they were going toe-to-toe with Steelers and the Ravens in their prime, right? One year made the playoffs.
You remember it was back and forth with Houston. It was Houston Steelers and Baltimore Ravens.
Right. And so back during that time frame, they just couldn't get up over the hump. They've always been a solid franchise.
We always said they needed another
quarterback. It was multiple times. Okay. Remember, it was Andy Dalton and Carson Palmer that made it to the playoffs.
Yep. And Carson Palmer actually went off on Burrows about some bullshit.
I didn't even hear about that.
I just read about it this morning, but I forgot the title of it was. But he said something foul, and everybody's on him about it. I'm like, dude, this is your alma mater team, and you going against the quarterback?
He was only. I don't know. He was only.
The only quarterback that took him to the Super Bowl was Boomer.
Boomer Esiason.
Carson Palmer, you didn't take.
That was before my time, but I heard a lot about it from my mom and dad.
If anything, Carson Palmer should be rooting for this man, right?
Oh, exactly.
You shouldn't be trying to tear him down.
Right before the Super Bowl. But anyway, because of that, I think that Cincinnati deserves it. I mean, I think they've worked hard this year. I think they've proven themselves this year. And at the same time, I think the Rams, they're both organizations have come to this point, and you can't tell me by looking at the body of work that neither team deserved to be there.
Both teams.
Although I will go on one record. Really, you had to beat the Raiders, and then go into the Tennessee Titans.
That one there.
Honestly, I think this is where the bye week hurt them.
Yeah.
Okay. Because they weren't prepared for that.
But
then they beat Mahomes, but that was a decisive victory.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm so glad Patrick Mahomes is not in the Super Bowl.
Trash.
But I'm even more elated that Tom Brady's not in the Super Bowl. We get to finally see somebody better, some other team
better
some other teams playing in the Super Bowl other than them 2 fuckers.
Well, then guess what? This says a lot about this. I'm going on the rant right now. So this goes.
We don't want to hear it. Hey, y'all, we gotta go because this is gonna take too long.
No. This is very quick. It's short and sweet, sir.
All right.
This says a lot about the NFL. If you can't beat a 44-year-old quarterback, whose fault is that?
This year,
no.
This year, a 44-year-old quarterback got beat, and so therefore, like I said, better.
Right, he had to get beat at 44 years old. You struggled to beat him.
He got beat not last year, but the year before.
Okay, but at 44, you struggled to beat him. You didn't beat him soundly. You struggled to beat him.
Oh, he was mad because Antonio Brown went on.
No. I'm just saying, at 44 years old,
even with Antonio Brown,
even with Aaron Rodgers, teams struggled to beat them too.
And I'm gonna go with this. I'm
So,
gonna go with this one thing. I'm gonna go with this one thing. John, the problem he said is struggle.
John,
a win is a
let
win.
him finish his rant.
A win is a win, right?
No,
Whether you beat him by 2 or 3.
A win is a win.
No, he can't help himself, Karen.
No. You have to understand, John. Hear me out. If let's say I got Deshaun Watson, right? Cool. Last year Deshaun Watson played, right? He was 4-12. That means Brady beat him. That means Rodgers beat him. That means these old guys that you're saying that got beat by one particular game, they beat both of them combined, beat all the youngins. So what does that say about the youngins? Their quality of quarterback play is not up there.
Okay, and
I'm not saying they're saying they won't eventually get there.
Before I'm going to let John release on this.
I'm not going to say that.
You're not going to say that? All right. Well, this is the one thing I hate. I hate the comparison of, it's Brady versus the young guy.
There you go. That's what I
Brady's not on defense.
No, he's not.
He does not play defense.
Brady is not playing defense. He's not on the defense. He's the offense. So when they do that matchup, yes, it creates hype, it creates talk, but it's bullshit.
It is all bullshit.
Because what you need to do is you need to show the defense facing the quarterback, not the quarterback versus the quarterback.
The quarterback didn't beat Tom Brady. The defense
it's an unfair comparison.
Stopped Tom Brady, and that quarterback beat that defense.
Right. So just like the Rams had to get a stacked defense just to beat Brady. That's what I'm saying.
That's it.
They had to get before.
So it had nothing to do with Goff, who almost won that game, by the way.
Well, Stafford.
No, but Goff was in the Super Bowl. a few years ago,
But
Rams
before-
and the Patriots.
Before,
Remember?
I thought you
earlier
meant
this
That's
season,
what I was talking
earlier
about.
this
That
season,
was the big field goal.
Earlier this season,
The
before Von Miller came to that defense, before Odell Beckham was on that offense, the Rams destroyed Tampa Bay earlier this season.
Yes,
and
they
then
did.
they beat them in the playoffs. So you can't sit here and say this is it. That's an older quarterback versus an older quarterback.
Well,
if you
yeah.
want to go with your analogy, that's
Question,
a wrong.
when did
The better team won, and the
when
better
did
team was
Stafford
in the
get
Super Bowl.
drafted? Was that 08 or 09?
It was after Tom Brady.
09?
It was after Tom Brady.
Anyway, this went a little lengthy.
Yeah, very. We're gonna have to edit some stuff out.
Maybe I'll do
We
that.
edit nothing. We play it straight.
We do like to welcome you guys to join us. We're going to try to do these videos as often as we can. Eventually, we may get to a point where we do some stuff live. We are looking at doing stuff on location.
Fans speak out.
Check out some of the local sport bars. Get them talking about anything they want to talk about. Give them like a 1 minute segment to just rant or whatever. And those are the things that we're looking at doing this year. We've been wanting to do it, but timing and scheduling have always been a factor, especially when we have full-time jobs. And some of that required all of us to work some overtime last year. And maybe I don't know. Maybe we can get some stuff going on the Patreon or the GoFundMe. Because if we could take this full time, we would.
And we
Yeah,
definitely
support
will.
us so we can give you this
Like
entertainment.
what they say, like,
We're
share,
cheap.
subscribe.
100K, and that would run us for at least a year.
Yeah, I'll
But
take
I
it.
tell you like this here. As far as the Super Bowl talk, I picked the Rams for the simple fact that I think they have a better team, all around team. Not better quarterback, not better position, but
No,
all
I
around
agree.
team.
I agree.
Other people pick the teams that they like because they're from Cincinnati or they're from California, LA, or whatever. At the end of the day, I hope it's a great game and everybody enjoy their Super Bowl Sunday.
I didn't pick the Rams because everybody sits there and say they're a good team, and yet I hadn't seen it. I mean, okay, I'm not
Keep it short and sweet.
I'm not gonna say I didn't see it. We see that they're a good team. I'm just saying they're a team full of stacked names. That's all I'm gonna say.
So it's a bunch of individuals trying to
Trying to be a team.
Yes, basically, it's a younger version of Dallas. That's what I meant to say.
Go ahead, John.
Okay,
End
so-
this, please.
I do. I like both teams. I'm not going to be rooting for one over the other. I'm going to basically sit back and enjoy this game as it's meant to be enjoyed. Watching two competitive teams go at it. If it's lopsided, I'll probably turn it off at halftime.
Yeah, I will too.
He meant to say two scripted teams going. I'm not getting off on you, NFL. I'm not getting
y'all
off on
notice he said scripted. He wearing a Patriot jersey. That's all I'm saying.
Anyway, on that note, please like, subscribe, and hit us up. Let us know what you think. And
I'll be quiet now.
if you're in the Houston area, let us know what you think.
Please like, share, subscribe, and email Chuck. I'm gonna text y'all his email or whatever.
Just put it, hey, John. Just put it in the comments below.
Put it in the comments. I'm gonna put his email so y'all can talk to him directly.
Feel free to donate too. I mean,
Send him
$5,
money.
We'll have
Send
to
him money.
figure out
$1, $2, $5, $10.
Actually, pay us in
$100.
silver dollars. That way, it's not taxable.
Or send a gold.
Gold, silver,
Ooh,
platinum.
gold.
Yeah.
You know you're gonna have people robbing each other on the street.
All right,
Let me stop.
we're out.
We
All right. I like Jameson. You know, it brings the best out of me. It brings the best out of me. I'm just saying, like,
You are that shit crazy.
I'm telling you, since I drink
I'm
this,
sorry, he
like,
is
man,
bashing.
like,
Gosh,
I
he
don't
is
know,
bashing
I'm just like,
crazy.
it's
Wow.
like, yeah, I'm here. Like,
I'm sitting there wiping my eyes the whole freaking time.